Hello everybody. I wish you all the best for your good health and well-being. I'm Chandan Kumar Mishra presenting my observation report for the day. 7 June 2024 Friday. Activities report after reviewing my presentation on letter analysis report format, second presentation on fourth report of second ARC on ethics, integrity and governance, and presentation on Ganesh Puran. Initiated review of the United Nations Institutions for Disarmament of Affairs research on Biological Weapon Convention held in November 2020. The appeared algorithm of the COVID-19 was as follows. Viral pathogenic strains of SARS-CoV was detected as a viral mutant in Wuhan pathogenic test laboratory in China, which was leaked from the lab accidentally and caused pulmonary infection among the nearby community, which had indicated its communicability. Further, international traveling passengers from the affected region acted as carrier of the viral pathogenic strains across the globe. Symptomatic homologous illness symptoms were observed among the infected potential patients globally as reported by World Health Organization. Global lockdown was observed during 2020 and forthcoming years, which was unlocked in phased manner. Community immunization drive was launched after development of a number of brands of vaccines. After nasal swab and RT-PCR, recombinant DNA technology polymerase chain reaction test. Post-COVID period restoration, repatriation, recovery, rehabilitation, revival and retention of normalcy are ensured. Note, as presented by the Iris Hunger from UNIDIR, the potential nature of hazardous pathogenicity of the mutants strains of SARS-CoV-2 appeared as a weapon of mass destruction of the biological specimen. She advocates for obedience of the United Nations Convention on Control of Chemical and Biological Weapons and seeks information and international cooperation for implementation of the SIP Chemical and Bioweapons Conventions. Then about points of doubts. It appeared a bit dogmatically overemphasized as the propagation of the message spread in viral manner in short span of time as havoc of rumor kind of nature of causing myth and misconception and stigma and discrimination in countries which caused in communities which had caused civil disturbance during COVID-19 period. We must remain sincere about it. The extent, outreach and coverage of the genesis and propagation of the message about initiation of threats and vulnerabilities of emergence of communicable pathogenic strains of viral mutants of SARS-CoV-2 causing serious respiratory pneumococcal infections, cardiac arrest-related cardiovascular diseases, multiple organ failure and sudden death caused intense fear of emergence of epidemic disease in community at large scale. Thus, it was pronounced as pandemic. Strict measures were obeyed to control the propagation and spread of the disease. Containment zones were created and community health management programs were implemented. However, most of the global population survived by the grace of God and prompt service delivery by service providing agencies of their respective government but it's a serious matter of concern to the global community that A. A number of people died due to the pandemic globally. May God bless them with peace and salvation, as well as empower their family members to recover from that grief and pain due to the sudden demise of their beloved one. Global governance suffered disturbance. A number of people suffered from the problems and consequences of internal and international displacement. Livelihood, employment, and economy of the people were devastated. A number of people suffered permanent separation and detachment with their beloved in-laws due to their migration and disease death. Due to the scarcity of proper infrastructure, technological equipments, treatment tools and medicines, diagnostic technologies and technicians, manpower, availability of the adequate healthcare facilities to the symptomatically ill and vulnerable to infection population suffered. People are living normal life in nearby local community now. About the implementation of the protocols and provisions of the Biological Weapon Control Conventions. Production, cultivation, biological trials, intentional or accidental release of the hazardous pathogenic strains of the biological species into air, water, soil, food products must be stopped. It must be controlled strategically. Clinical trials of genetic mutation oriented alteration of the genetic codes of the microorganism for therapeutic and medicinal purposes should be performed only after consultation and approval of the panel of international subject domain experts, panel or advisory boards of scientific community. Note: as an operation in charge of a hospital, do not administer similar injections or medicines to all its patients. Diseased person, a specific treatment should be prescribed and applied for treatment of patients, rather offering universalization of vaccines as fruit juice bhandara to all. But this, the verification, research and training coordination of the Biological Weapon Convention internationally may improve understanding and obedience of safety protocols for dealing with pathogenically potent biospecimens of microbes. Law enforcement mechanisms for control of the instances of offenses or violations of the provisions of the United Nations Conventions on Control and Use of the Biological or Chemical or Physical Weapons requires regulatory review and supervision periodically. Biosafety and biosecurity measures should be enforced properly for improving people's safety. As per the broadcasted messages from UNIDIR, United Nations Institutions for Disarmament Research, several aspects of assessment of the genesis, propagation, intents of economic or enmity were inferred, along with possibilities of spontaneous natural evaluation of the pathogenic mutants of the SARS-CoV virus. About the UNIDIR, United Nations Institution for Disarmament Research is operating since 1980. UNIDIR is an autonomous institution within the United Nations that conducts independent research on disarmament and related problems, particularly international security issues. A specialized focus of the UNIDIR on disarmament and arms control, organized policy review discussion, and commence research for enforcement of policies and procedures for arms control and disarmament to ensure resilience of global peace. UNIDIR status within the United Nations system enables engagement and support cooperation among member nations of the United Nations for obedience and adherence with United Nations Convention on Control of Use of Physical, Chemical or Biological Weapons. UNIDIR aims to play a vital role in idea cultivation, thoughts inculcation, and arbitrary advisory role to facilitate multilateral peace diplomacy for arms control and disarmament. With thanks, Chandan Kumar.